Welcome back to another episode of Coffee with Caroline. And today, look where I am, Copenhagen. This is going to be a trip down memory lane. First of all, what can I say? This week has been kind of crazy. We are traveling. We've been to London. Well, actually, no. I've been to see my daughter. I'm not going to say where. I've been to see my brother. I've been to London. I've been to and I'm in Paris, and now I'm in Copenhagen. I can't even remember where I've been. So let's just start at the beginning. I went to drop my daughter at university. As you guys know, she's 19. She just got a new car, and obviously that's a big thing for a parent. Like, she's driving herself. She came to pick me up. God, I hope she doesn't listen to this, but it was petrifying. Like, they just aren't so secure yet, and like they don't look left and right. They kind of like, I don't know, they've got the music so loud. I just felt like every time I stepped into that car I was taking my life into my own hands. But anyway, so I'm apologized to all the people around where she lives. Then I went to dinner with some really old friends of mine that live around there, and it was just so funny because I was in the Cotswolds afterwards. It was so funny to be there with Sophie, like the Pearls and Bamfords, who I've known my entire life, Beatrice. It was just lovely. Anyway, it did make me laugh because every single one of those girls turned up in a black Discovery. And anyway, we had the most wonderful time, but I realized I was just done with conforming, that this is how, even now at our grand old age of nearly 50, we're all still trying to fit in. And then, I'm thinking about sitting here and the life I lead in Dubai and how easy it is, and how, right now, I'm sitting here in my giant diamonds, right? And everyone's like, oh God, you shouldn't have worn them traveling. But actually, I'm the face of a new lab diamond company that's about to launch. And these are lab diamonds. And I've got a lot to say about these later too. So, gone are the days. I think diamonds might be going on the way out. And that's a whole nother Coffee with Caroline. But, I feel like I can't wear diamonds, and these are diamonds. They come with certificates. They're still mined. They're like, I'm learning all about them. But these are another form of diamonds. They're just not as expensive. I think they're about a third of the price, which is exciting. And then, my brother's daughter ended up in hospital this week because he got hit by an e-bike in the London park, which snapped her leg clean in half, pretty much. Turns out the e-bike was being driven by a little man who has no papers, wasn't meant to be in the country, and I felt really bad for him, obviously, because he's about to be deported. But it just, there you go again with everything that's happening in this country. I don't know anyone that hasn't been robbed, not one person, at some point. And actually, just walking down the street doing these videos for you, I got so many messages going, don't hold your phone like that, don't hold your phone like that. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't wear my jewelry, can't wear a handbag. I went to Hermes in Paris, and I was like, because last time I came, they were putting the orange bag inside a white bag so that you don't get mugged when you come out of the shop, which again is ridiculous. I worked bloody hard for all this stuff. Like a minute ago I couldn't have any of it. Now I've got all of it again, and I'm not allowed to wear it either. And then I was just reading. I love TikTok, and I was watching TikTok, and this poor girl that fled the war in Ukraine to come to get a better life, and just came home on a bus. Was it the bus or the tube? And to get, it was a bus. On the bus from work, still in her uniform, surrounded by people, minding her own business. She's 23 years old. And the reality of watching that video, which is just shocking enough that all of us can watch it, and the long versions come out now, which is just even more horrific. Just this poor little girl looking at that man that was a totally unprovoked attack. And let me tell you something. It's just, that could have been my daughter. What is stopping that being any of our children? There is no way to prepare your kids for that. I mean, none. She did everything right. She sat down, minded her own business, put her head down. I mean, what went on from there is just shocking. And then shame on the people around her. And then I was thinking to myself watching the video, because maybe it's not immediately obvious that she's been stabbed, and maybe they didn't realize what was going on because she kind of cried to herself. But then actually looking at the video, the blood is going all the way down the carriage, and you realize that people are just so scared today. People are so scared to help as well, or they just don't care, or it's just like we're just become dehumanized. And then within 24 hours, there's another shooting in a school I was reading about. I mean, this is why I deleted all the apps. And then, the politician that just got shot at a rally. And again, I know he had really strong views. I know he's upset a lot of people, but honestly, again, my view is we can all have a view. That is the point of humans. Like, we debate things. We all have our own opinions. We don't go around shooting each other because we don't like what the other person says. Like, it's just gone. It's like the wild, wild west. I don't even know which way to go. As I drop my kids off, and my boys are 15, and they're in Dubai, and it's really, really safe in Dubai. And obviously, they go to America, and in America at 15, you can drive, which is nuts too, because forget whether they can drive. It's about dealing with all the other people on the road. I just don't understand what's going on over there, or in England, or all over. But then I'm going to have to let my children free in all of these places. Like, I've just left my daughter there, and I'm thinking to myself, I've just watched the Idaho murders, and then I went to her house and to check which floor her bedroom's on, and whether I can put security in there. And she thinks I've lost my mind because she's come from one of the safest cities in the world. I think it was voted the safest city in the world, actually. And, you can't put a price on that. Yes, it might be a little bit boring for teenagers. You don't really get to, run around and get away with things that maybe they do in other countries. I don't know. But you cannot underestimate the power of being able to wear your clothes, just dress as you want. Like, I'm not saying everybody needs to put on, hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of, jewelry, but if you want to, you can, without the fear of being stabbed for it and then being told that it's your fault because you shouldn't have worn it, which is another thing. In England, do you know that if someone breaks into your home, into your room, and you shoot them, you go to jail? Like, I don't understand. I don't understand how many of these things have to happen for us all to say enough is enough, because we don't have gun crime in the UAE because there aren't any guns on the street. Like, we don't have it. I mean, maybe there's going to be a punch up, but that can be broken up. This is so fatal. That poor man, regardless of his views, regardless of his speeches, regardless of anything, he had a beautiful wife and kids who are grown to grow up without him now. And I don't care who you are. I don't agree with anything that's going on in the world. And the thing is, even as a person in my position as well, if I even begin to have an opinion, which is why I don't have an opinion on my Instagram, you guys think it's absolute open season on me too. Why? Freedom of speech is one of the most important things that we all have. It is so important to be able to have and to, and to be able to express yourselves in today's world and not to be frightened to do so. And I just think as a mum and being with a man now that wants to have a baby, I'm like, God, I don't even really want to bring a baby into this world. I was adopting a dog in Bali, doing something really, really nice. Well, I thought I was doing something really nice. And Sergio's dad has never had a pet and so excited to get this dog. And then we had it for 24 hours, bought it the bed, did everything, took it on long walks. Anyway, he tied it up for 5 minutes outside a shop to get it water because it was thirsty. Sorry, 2 minutes, Sergio's saying. And it was gone when he came out. Walked 4 hours, made all the posters, looked everywhere. Now, mind you, Sergio's father's had open heart surgery, so also having the panic about losing this dog, which, he didn't lose, by the way. Someone either let it go or they took it. The dog has now shown back up at the rescue house, which the woman who went absolutely ballistic, instead of helping us and saying, I'm so sorry this happened to you, let us help you find the dog, she was like, you pissed me off. The language and the aggression towards his father, I was like, oh my God, this has just taken all the joy out of a good deed that we were trying to do. And don't worry, we will adopt a dog, just not from there. And I guess I need to go. I'm going to do it. I'm going to find the dog. I'm going to bond with the dog. This was one that was, they suggested, they said would be a good pet. Turns out, I think it was one of their pets anyway, which is, again, so sad because so many dogs over there really need a home. And people like us who would have given it a good home are traumatized by these types of people. I don't know. I just think we've lost a sense of community, kindness, and that's it. So that's my rant for this week. Be kind to each other. Don't forget to subscribe.